Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Thursday, August 11th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Apologies for no show yesterday. Some days just get out of control. That's basically what happened. The biggest story of the day, by far, comes from Pew Research, which is a research center, and they surveyed teens with respect to social media, and these are current stats from surveying teenagers ages 13 to 17. You probably already can guess what this study finds, but I'm going to tell you anyway. TikTok is growing by leaps and bounds in terms of popularity. Don't worry, we'll get into the Instagram stats as well, but 67% of teens say they use TikTok, with 16% of all teens saying they use TikTok almost constantly. However, by comparison, the teens who say they use Facebook has plummeted from 71% in 2014 and 2015 to 32% today. Now, I want to take a moment to recognize the other social media platforms that I don't really talk about so much. YouTube is the top teen online platform. It's used by 95% of teens. TikTok is next on the list, 67%, I mentioned that, followed by Instagram and Snapchat, which are both used by about 6 in 10 teens. After those platforms comes Facebook with 32%, and then smaller shares for Twitter, Twitch, WhatsApp, Reddit, and Tumblr. This survey is very in-depth, and one of the things that I like is that it highlights the different demographics. For instance, teen boys are more likely than teen girls to say they use YouTube, Twitch, and Reddit, whereas teen girls are more likely than teen boys to use TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat. In addition, higher shares of Black and Hispanic teens report using TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp compared with white teens. This study also looks at the frequency with which teens are on each of the top 5 online platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. Fully 35% of teens say that they are using one of them almost constantly. Teen TikTok and Snapchat users are particularly engaged with those platforms, followed by teen YouTube users. A quarter of teens who use Snapchat or TikTok say they use these apps almost constantly, and a fifth of teen YouTubers say the same. When looking at teens overall, 19% say they use YouTube almost constantly, 16% say that about TikTok, and 15% about Snapchat. I'm going to pause and say that if you're thinking of this as this is why teens spend too much time on social media because they're addicted, whatever, I'm just going to tell you that when I was a teen and I didn't have a car and I didn't have a phone, I almost constantly watched MTV and VH1 and just flipped back and forth between the channels looking for music videos. Although the times have changed in some respects and we now have phones, we can be more embedded and watch wherever we are. Trust me, if I had had access to MTV or VH1 wherever I was as a teenager, I would have had these exact same metrics, I promise you. This report is incredibly in-depth. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I'm going to highlight why this report is so key. The Instagram Stories is brought to you by #Slayer.com. Reach new people, build your audience, and grow your business with #Slayer.com. No Facebook login required. Sign up with your email and get your first month free by using the code IGStories at #Slayer.com. And we're back. All right, so why are these stats so important? If you're a business owner or you're a marketer and you focus on these demographics of teens that we're talking about, it's important to know where teens are spending their time so you can ensure that the content you make is very likely to be seen by them. However, these teens are likely to stay with these apps going forward. Many people, older than me I'll say, who signed up for Facebook never saw a need to join any other social media platforms because they already had Facebook. It may be the case with these teens, if you fast forward 5 years or 10 years, that the platforms that they spend so much time on will continue to be the ones that they spend a large amount of time on. That could change, I don't know, but I think it is a good indicator of where they'll be in the future. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you for listening. Be sure to come back tomorrow for more Instagram news.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks at Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.